Number 10, Rino Tirakarani.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Customs. Does she stand by all her answers to oral question number 11 in the House yesterday?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Yes.
Supplementary question, Rino Tirakarani.
Why did she say that quantifying the proportion of drugs intercepted at the border is, quotes, impossible to answer, when the National Drug Intelligence Bureau said in 2009 that 16 to 20% of drugs were being seized at the border?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It is always a speculation on what percentage of drugs are seized at the border. It isn't possible for anyone, including the member's anonymous source, to measure exactly what is brought in, because contrary to all other importers, drug smugglers don't tell us what they're bringing.
Supplementary.
Order. Order.
Supplementary to the Minister.
Supplementary question, Rino Tirakarani.
Does she have any updated figures that disprove the fact that the drug interception rate has deteriorated to 1 in 10 under her government's watch?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr Speaker, I have as much information as your source is to make that statement. As I've said, the facts that underpin are the facts that we have got interceptions at record levels. The number of P users is going down from 2.2 to less than 1, and the price of P has remained stable and high.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Rino Tirakarani.
To the Minister, how are Customs meant to catch drug traffickers when as few as 7 officers operate at Auckland International Airport on a night shift, seeing up to 2,000 passengers an hour?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. 80% of customs agencies work at the border. Our customs agencies are very skilled, and with our recent investment of $6.6 million into SmartGate, the vast majority of routine customers can go through that process, and so our agents, our customs officers are there to manage high-risk customers and goods.
Order. Supplementary question
to the Minister.
Rino Tirakarani.
How can she say Customs are doing a good job stopping drug trafficking when the Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet says the price of methamphetamine in 2015 was lower than it was in 2014 and its availability and purity has increased?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
That is not correct. The price fluctuates, but it's maintained very stably since 2008, and it has remained very high. And it's very interesting that we, with Australia, are very high in the world, and Australia is, just given its latest information, is that it is less than ours.
Question number 11.